Okay, so we're already with 18, so that's already a nice group. So we'll get going very shortly. So let's get started, and thank to all of you for joining the session, which will be covering mainly the graduate programs at AB InBev. So thanks again for all of you to be joining on this evening. So let's get started. Feel free to interrupt me at any point during the presentation. Let's make this interactive. But first, let me start out with presenting myself. So my name is Joost, and my function at AB InBev is Talent Key Account Manager for Zone Europe. So that's quite a long title, but what does this mean basically? What do I do? The scope of my job is to attract and select the best candidates for our graduate programs, which is of course the reason why I'm giving this presentation. So for all of our graduate programs, but also for the internships and also the post-MBA programs that we have together with my team, for instance, with Madina, who is here as well this evening. So all of the early in career job opportunities that you have at AB InBev, we try to attract, but also select the best candidates for AB InBev. Briefly on myself, so I started quite recently at AB InBev, so beginning of this year. Before that, I started working in 2012, and between then and now, before joining AB InBev, I had a career in recruitment. So my entire career was about selecting and talking to the best talents in Europe and primarily in Belgium in my previous position. I have no very strange hobbies. I like jogging, I like cycling, some bit of quizzing as well, coming together with friends, hiking, so these kind of stuff. I was born and raised in Leuven, Belgium, and this probably can give you already a hint of what my favorite beer is. Let's do it a quick pop quiz. Does anybody know which of our famous beers comes out of Leuven, Belgium? You can enter it in the chat or just speak up. Stella, indeed, very well, Luca. So Belgium's pride in terms of pills is Stella Artois, indeed. So that's where I come from. I'm very proud to have this be one of the famous brands of AB InBev. So that's enough about me. I will now first show you a bit of a video about who we are as a company, what we're all about, what or who is AB InBev.
Sharing a beer has brought people together for centuries. This simple act is as meaningful today as it was over 600 years ago when we first started brewing. From the very beginning, our company was built on making connections, bringing people together to make a difference. For us, that starts with brewing great beer. True masters of the craft, our brewers work closely with farmers to combine top-quality barley, the choicest hops, and our taste signature yeasts to delight beer drinkers. Every bottle is one we are proud to serve. With more than 400 brands made in over 50 countries, we brew many of the world's most loved beers and have a beer to suit every occasion. We continue to lead the way, pushing the boundaries with new tastes and experiences to provide more people with more choices in more places. But our commitment doesn't end there. We are using our resources and energy to make a positive impact on the world. We support the livelihoods of thousands of farmers and retailers. We set the bar in water efficiency and are helping improve access to clean water and reduce our impact on the environment in our communities and beyond. And we are working hard to ensure every experience with our beer is a positive one, bringing people together through our brands, our people, and our communities, today and for generations to come. We are AB InBev.
That's a bit of a highlight reel of who we are as a company. So let's start out with the first point. So what is our business? What do we do? So AB InBev, we're the world's biggest brewer. So that's already a nice thing to start off with. We are home to over 500 beer brands, and these range from the most well-known, like Stella Artois, but also from the specific locally brewed craft beer. So we have a very wide range of beers. And very important, we're a global business. And this, of course, gives unparalleled opportunities to people who join AB InBev, and specifically also who join AB InBev through one of our graduate programs. Just to give you an idea about the size of our global business and also the opportunities that this gives to people who join the company. So we have over 50 countries where we have offices. We employ over 175,000 people on a global scale, and we sell our beers in over 150 countries. So this is basically all across the world. 8 out of 10 of our of the top 10 brands, beer brands, are AB InBev. So only 2 beers are not ours. We are the number 1 producer of craft beer. So this is just a couple of numbers to give you an idea of the scale of our company. And it's truly a world-spanning operation. So we are present in each continent. So South and Middle America, Africa, North America, Europe, of course, and Asia Pacific. So this is the global scale of our country. And here you see listed all of the countries where we have offices. So also in terms of growth opportunities, these not only range to vertical growth opportunities within a certain role or department, or horizontal, cross-functional, but also on an international level, there are huge growth opportunities to anybody who joins AB InBev as well. In Europe, our headquarters are based in Belgium, where we have our roots. It was already mentioned in the video. Our roots go back to 1366. So we're not only a company with huge numbers, but we do also have a huge heritage behind a lot of our brands. So in Europe specifically, because I think most of people who will be joining here will be from Europe. So headquarters are in Belgium, but we have offices in 16 European countries, and we run 28 breweries in Europe. So even only within Europe, it's quite a huge enterprise, I would say. A bit further into our brands, probably these ones you will know as well. So these are the brands that are covered and that you can drink all across the world. These are Budweiser, Corona, and Stella, very well-known brands. But beneath that, we have a lot of local jewels. Let's say these are beers that are brewed more for a local scale, but within those countries are very popular. For instance, Belgium, it's Jupiler. You have Beck's, you have Hertog Jan in the Netherlands, for instance. But this is not the only things that we do. We also, as already said, we have specialty beers, craft beers, and also what we call adjacency. When I say that we're a beer company, this is not entirely correct. For instance, hard seltzer, which is also a very up-and-coming beverage, we produce this as well. We have gin, we have wine, a lot of things that we are doing right now. A topic very important to outline as well, and it was also spoken about during the video, is that sustainability is a very important part of our business, and we want to make sure that by producing our beers, we also aim for a better world that benefits us all. And when you think about it, it's quite logical. We really consider sustainability to be a key part of our business, and it's quite logical. When you think about it, our beers are all made of natural ingredients, so barley, water, hops. We wouldn't be able to produce the beers that we have in our portfolio without clean water, without natural resources, and also local communities who can thrive and make a profit by assisting us produce those beers. So sustainability is key, and we have outlined very concrete and measurable and quite ambitious sustainability goals for 2025. They are centered around 4 topics, so smart agriculture, water stewardship, circular packaging, and climate action. And these are all very measurable and tangible goals that we have set for ourselves already in 4 years' time. So it's not too far into the distant future. And so behind these goals, we have a couple of numerous sustainability actions that we take. For instance, number 1 in the UK, but all across Europe, we are banning plastic rings and plastic packaging to reduce our plastic footprint. We are establishing all across Europe electric trucks to deliver our beers to the pubs and to the restaurants, etc. And also one thing we do together with Colgate and Unilever, so very big FMCG companies, each year we support and we invest in startup companies that will help us tackle the most challenging sustainability questions. So we are doing a huge amount of work on the sustainability field. Another important topic I wanted to briefly touch upon is diversity. So the dream at AB InBev is to build a company that lasts for 100 plus years. And in order to be able to do this, our workforce must reflect the consumers that we aim to serve our beers to. So also when you look at it like this way, diversity and inclusion, these are really key drivers for AB InBev to be a profitable country for 100 and plus years. And already now we are taking very concrete steps for this. So we are a super multinational company. We're employing over 100 nationalities right now. We're aiming for a 50-50 management split in the future. We have signed the UN's Women's Empowerment Principles pledge, but we also launch a lot of local initiatives like Women in Beer. We support the Proud Network, LGBTQ communities in the countries where we are active. And also we try to engage people to apply for AB InBev coming from underprivileged backgrounds. We have a couple of initiatives going on in various countries all across the world. Of course, this is a journey, so we're not there yet, but we are taking concrete actions to make sure that we are the most diverse company within the food and beverage sector. Last but not least, we also put a heavy emphasis on innovation, and also innovation going towards non-alcoholic or low alcoholic beers and products. And also on this level, we have an important part and responsibility to play. So I'll quickly show you a video on this subject as well, so you get an idea of all of the things that go on at AB InBev.
And our first dream was really to make the non-alcoholic beer taste like alcoholic beer. In some occasions, the non-alcoholic beer was actually preferred over the alcoholic beer.
We as a company are committed to have 20% of our volume coming from non-alcoholic and low-alcoholic beverages.
Alcohol is important for the taste because it enhances some of the flavor compounds in our beer. Historically, non-alcoholic beers were made in the brew house but were not even fermented. So in the end, they were had a stigma of not being real. What we've done now is really made a big step up. This is actually revolutionary. We're making a true alcoholic beer made from the same raw materials according to our brewing principles. And this is where the alcohol is gently removed and we are able to recover the beer aroma into the beer so that it keeps its taste. Beer is at heart of everything what I do.
We are all very proud of our beers.
So just to give you an idea, 20% of our portfolio being non-alcoholic or low alcoholic, that's quite a huge number. Right now we're already at 10%. So for me, this was very surprising when I hear that's 10%. It's really already a large part of our business. So also on this level, we want to be a responsible and sustainable company as well, and designing products to allow people to enjoy our products during the entire day without needing to look at alcoholic levels. Who we are as a company, more in terms of culture, I also have a video on that, and after that I will quickly explain a bit further what the culture is like at AB InBev.
It started with a challenge to elevate our voice, to stand out from the crowd, to communicate what we stand for, what makes us unique. We reminded ourselves of who we are. We are AB InBev. Dreaming big is in our DNA. Brewing the world's most loved beers, building iconic brands, and creating meaningful experiences is what inspires us. Our people are curious, bold, and resilient. We're ambitious. We see challenges as opportunities. Push boundaries and thrive under pressure. We are owners building a company to last, empowered to lead real change, deliver results, and grow at the pace of our talent. We work hard and we win together. This is what Challenge Accepted means to us, and we're proud to bring it to life across our markets globally. AB InBev. Challenge Accepted.
All right, so that's in fact what we look for people who want to join one of our graduate programs. Those should be people who want to accept the challenge. Our purpose at AB InBev, outlined on the website as well, is we want to bring people together for a better world. And it's really amazing. This is something that is really internalized by all of the employees within the company and something that everybody strives for in their own way. And so what the video was about and what is beneath and what lies at the core of this company are the 10 principles of AB InBev. And these are really the driving force behind our culture. And these 10 principles will allow us to achieve our goal. So first is we want to dream big, and we also want to hire people who dream big. We want to build a profitable growth company, a company that will last 100+ years. So this is our main dream, and we want to hire people also who can follow in this dream. Secondly, people are essential to the success of AB InBev. So we truly believe, and this is where our graduate programs come in, is that the greatest strength of AB InBev is our people. So we want people to be able to grow at the pace of their talent and also be rewarded accordingly. So we want to hire great people because great people deliver results and will transform our company. Also, we want to recruit people who can develop people and retain people who can be better than ourselves. So everybody at AB InBev is measured on the quality, but also the diversity of our team. So we really want to hire the people, not to copy paste what we are doing right now, but to elevate our company and to perform even better than the current managers. And all of the graduate programs are really intended to create and to form a pipeline of future leaders of AB InBev. And then a couple of points around which our culture is aligned. So we are a company of owners. Everybody at AB InBev will get ownership of their role. So you will get a lot of responsibility, and this is really a key part of AB InBev. Very important as well, on a day-to-day basis, we are never completely satisfied of our results. So we embrace change, we want to take risks, and we also empower people to think higher than what we are achieving right now. Consumer is boss, and we partner with our customers, also very important. We are a very common sense believing company, and simplicity. We're a huge company, but we are relatively light in terms of heavy procedures. Of course, every company has procedures, but we also really believe in efficiency and allowing people to take up change and go the extra mile without dragging us down with a lot of procedures. We manage our costs tightly. This is something that we're also quite famous for. And also we won't ever take shortcuts. We want people who work hard, who don't take shortcuts and go the extra mile. So all of these things, especially we look for in the people who want to join our graduate program. So this brings us to the main topic of this evening, outlining the graduate programs. What are the opportunities that you will have at AB InBev? What are the graduate programs on which you can apply? So firstly, we have the GMT, which is the Global Management Traineeship. And this is a graduate program in general management. Very important is that this is a fully immersive way to get to know AB InBev and to get a really 360-degree business of our company in all of its aspects. So it's a 12-month rotational program. So 2 times 6 months, and it will offer you an in-depth exposure to all of the aspects of our business on a global scale. So it's a global program. We hire GMTs in Africa, in North America, in Europe. So you're part of a global group, and you will be treated and you are hired in order to be our future leader. So you will be immersed in areas like sales, commercial, supply, operations, solutions. So it's really very multifunctional, giving you a 360-degree view on our business. It's available in 9 countries in Europe. So in fact, everywhere where we have offices, it's organized. So Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, but specifically on the Canary Islands, UK, Russia, and Ukraine. And you can see it a bit like an internal business schools within AB InBev, really the next generation of leaders within the company. So this is the GMT, the Global Management Traineeship. Secondly, we have the Market Visionaries program, and in a nutshell, this is the ultimate sales program. It's available in Belgium, Netherlands, France, Italy, UK, and also in Spain. It's not mentioned on the slide, but also on the Canary Islands. And this is all about sales. It's the ultimate sales program. So over the course of 18 months, you will be really in the field. So you will get a designated area for you to develop. It will be either on trade, meaning bars or cafes, or off-trade, meaning retailers, and you will have to develop this region. So this will include negotiation with retailers, for instance, making sure that our new brands are introduced here. So it's really a sales job in the field. So this is very important that you understand that it has much more to do with sales rather than with marketing. It's really all about sales, and we look for people who want to develop their commercial skills within this program, the MVP program, so the sales program. Then we have sales side, and then the SMT. This is really the supply side of our business. So this is a graduate program in supply, logistic, production, and engineering. So everything on the supply side of our business, all about brewing, packaging, and delivery of our products. And here you will get experience in the front line of a brewery. So working with our operators and really being in the breweries for 7 months to make the beers that we're famous for. So here we look for SMTs in all of the countries where we have breweries in Europe. So this means Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Spain, the Canary Islands, and the UK. This is where we have breweries. So this is where we are looking for SMTs. So this is the shortest program, 6 months. And then last but not least, we have the fast track leadership program. This is special in the sense that we only have the FTL program in Prague. We have a very important business center, support center in Prague, where a lot of our important and key departments are based. So we are looking for the next generation of managers and leaders specifically for our center in Prague. So you can see here, again, it's a 12-month program. You have 2 rotations of 6 months that you will get to know a separate or a different department. So it can be finance, it can be customer support, it can be anything, but you will be really centered in this department. And after this 12 months, you will be ready to take up a leadership role in our Prague center. So this is the FTL program. What are we looking for? Besides people who can align themselves in our principle, who want to take up the challenge, so all of the soft requirements, we have a couple of hard requirements as well. So we have a couple that are the same for all of the programs. So logically, we are a beer company, or let's say a company that largely produces alcohol. So it's important that you're of legal drinking age. Normally, it's not really of a problem considering the other requirements that we have. You should be fluent in English. It's a global company, so English is the corporate language. So English must be super fluent, but you also need to speak the native language of the country of application. So logically, let's say for Canary Islands, it means English plus Spanish. For France, it means French plus English. Belgium, it's either French or Dutch plus English. You get the point. So this is an important thing that we look for as well. It's really graduate program, meaning that we want to have people who don't have too much experience yet. So it's really a program for young people who have just graduated or have recently graduated. So you shouldn't have more than 2 years of working experience, but we don't take into consideration volunteering work, student jobs, internships. So we're really talking about professional, full-time paid experience that can be more than 2 years, and you should have graduated with a bachelor or a master's degree either this summer in 2021 or 2022. So these 2 last requirements are of course linked. So this is the same for all programs. Important as well, you should have the right to work in the country of application. So in the UK, you should have a full-time work permit for the UK. For the EU, you should have an EU work permit. So this is also important that we don't support in providing work visa for when you apply at one of the graduate programs. For SMT specifically, as I already told you, it's all about engineering, supply side. Here we do have a couple of specific areas of study that you should have. So it's really all engineering fields, natural sciences, studies related to brewing or food science or supply chain studies. That's specifically for SMT. For all other programs, you can have any bachelor or master's that you want. And for MVP specifically, as I already told you, you should be in the field going to clients. This also means that you should have a valid driver's license in order to go to the clients. So those are the specific requirements for SMT and FTL. Next, how does the application process look like? So it's quite a straightforward process, but it does entail a couple of steps. So you start out with an online application. We definitely recommend you to apply as soon as possible. By the end of November, all applications will close for sure. But we also work with a first come, first serve base of applications. So it is possible for certain, for the popular programs that we will close earlier than end of November if we already have sufficient applicants that have applied. So that is the online application phase. Then everybody will be invited to take part in an online assessment. These are online games that we test your cognitive abilities, but also your social attributes to see where you are on this level. So this is the first part of the selection. Then there's a video interview. It's not a one-to-one live interview, but it's more of a video exercise where you record a certain response to a business case, and then we review the video afterwards. And then it's time for assessment day. It's called an ABI day. It's a full day virtual where you do an interview, you do a business game, you do a networking session. So it's a day filled with a lot of activities for the people who meet that stage. And then the last round is the final roundtable. It's a 6-on-6 kind of panel interview. Again, it's live, and this is the most challenging and the final part of the application journey, where you will meet our most senior members who will ask you the most challenging questions to see if you're a good fit with ABI. And then hopefully, of course, at the end, an offer can happen, and you can join then in August of next year. So August 2022, all of the programs start. So FTL, SMT, GMT, and MVP, they all start in August 2023. But applications are already open as from 1st of September. So again, if you're interested and you want to get to know us better, I can only encourage you to hand in your application as soon as possible. What do we offer besides, of course, you being able to start at AB InBev? Again, perhaps to summarize, what do we ask for? Who are the people we are looking for? We want curious people. We want inquisitive people and people who ask why we're doing certain things and not just copy paste the way we are doing things right now. So really people who can dream big. We want people who are ambitious. Again, we want to be able to give people the opportunity to grow at the pace of their own talent. So you can be very ambitious and there are huge growth potential at AB InBev. And we also want people to be resilient. So you will have tough days, you will have bad ones, but we want people who see the challenge in having, who like to get a challenge and are not taken aback by this. What we offer impact. So this is the ownership part. We hire you to, from day one, already have an impact in the graduate programs. So we want to be able for you to transform your dreams into actual measurable results and share successes, and you will get immediate impact. We will give you opportunity for fast career growth, as already said. This can be cross-functional, so going from sales into people, into supply chain. There are huge cross-functional opportunities at AB InBev, but they can also be international growth opportunities. The sky is the limit, but you need to prove yourself, and also leadership. In all of the programs, they are intended that after the graduate program is finished, that you're ready to be a leader and you will get to lead your own team at quite a young age, I would say, so quickly after the graduate programs. And what we believe, again, it's the same. We want people who dream big. We believe in taking ownership. And we're also a super informal company believing in collaboration and candor. So it's a very informal and inclusive workplace. Everybody dresses the way that they feel like. Everybody can speak their minds and debate ideas on their own merit. So that's a bit like who we are on a day-to-day basis. So that's a lot of me talking, I would say. So I will stop sharing my screen and we have more than sufficient time. There's still half an hour to go for a bit of Q&As. I will quickly see in the chat. I don't see any questions yet. Where can we fulfill the application? Luca asked. So this was the last slide. So here you can already, I don't think you can click on the hyperlink. I will share my screen again, but I have a QR code. One sec.
I've shared the link already.
And Madina already shared the link. So in fact, it's a one-stop shop. Go to europecareers.ab-inbev.com, but it's written in the chat. So this is like our general careers web page, but you have a separate part for all of the graduate programs, and then you can click through to apply and to hand in your application. So visit that website. It also contains a lot of testimonials, extra information about the graduate program. So go there, have a look, and if you're interested, be sure to apply. Is the requirement of speaking the native language applied to all positions in AB InBev? If you're speaking about non-graduate program positions, this really depends on a job-per-job basis. I would say that a lot of positions, let's say for instance in sales, often you will have the requirement indeed that you speak also the native language in order to be able to communicate with people on the field, in the breweries, etc. So often it will be a necessity, but not always. I think, for instance, in our Prague center, there might be quite some positions where, for instance, only English is necessary. Here in the headquarters in Leuven as well. Marketing positions, it depends on a case-per-case basis, but it will always be clear in our job adverts if it's only English that is necessary, or if indeed we seek a local language to be spoken as well.
Yes, there is a question from Millennia. Yep. What is the chance of getting accepted to the GMT? Is there a high degree of competition?
There is. Good question. I would say that on average, this is across all programs, that's very, just to give you an idea, between 0.5 and 1% of total applicants end up getting an offer. So it's not to discourage you, I would say, but there is a heavy selection involved, and there is also there are more applicants than that there are free spaces, let's say. So I would say 1 in 100 candidates ends up getting selected, but again, I would only encourage you to accept the challenge and see where the application journey might take you.
There is a next question from Luca. Are there similar programs for graduated this year from MBA, but having more than 2 years of experience? So I suppose this is more...
You can take this one, yeah.
So Luca, so if you are already graduated from MBA school, I think you can apply for our full-time role opportunities within Europe. So for the MBAs who are still studying and they are on the first year MBAs, we have a global MBA program which I will present in this week. So you can check the session scheduled. However, this program is available only for those who are on their first year of MBA studies. In your case, I would really recommend to have a look on our European career website and again, check which kind of functions or locations the most interesting for you, and then apply directly depending on your experience, preferences in terms of the job profile. And then, yeah, of course, we have a lot of full-time role opportunities in different offices in Europe. So yeah, there are definitely plenty of ways to get into the company. The next question for Joost is from Diana. Is the requirement for sorry, this one we covered already. Yeah. Then for William, is there any opportunities for master student who will graduate in 2022, but already have more than 3 years of working experience? Thank you.
I would say this maximum of 2 years of working experience, this is like a general guideline, but we can look at on a case per case basis. If you're motivated, and I would say the graduate programs aren't the place for like people with 10+ years of experience to go, because really this is a program. You will get trainings really coming from the idea that you recently graduated. So people with like too much experience, they won't feel comfortable, I would say, and probably be bored, so perhaps sometimes a little bit as well if they're too far ahead in their career. But if you say I have like 2.5, 3 years of experience, but you do definitely understand that this is a graduate program and that perhaps you had experience in a totally different field, we can look at it at a case per case basis. So it really depends on what you have done before and what is your motivation to join AB InBev.
The next question from Julia. Hey, Jus, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. Are there any things that are worth mentioning in our application that might increase our chances of being selected?
Good question. No. So in fact, we want to give everybody the same shot. So it can be bachelor's, it can be master's, it can be anything. But we really want to assess everybody on their own merits. So everybody who applies for the program and passes the minimum requirements that I outlined on the slide. So languages, legal drinking age, etc. So the hard requirements, everybody who passes those questions will be invited to the assessment, and then it's up to you to convince us that you're the correct candidate. So in fact, you have the opportunity to add a motivation letter, but to be honest, if it's a personal recommendation, it's okay to not even bother, because really we will look at these minimum requirements and then automatically you will be invited to this assessment. So even people who don't add a motivation letter, I think it's a bit old school, the whole motivation letter idea. Just apply. Just make sure that we can contact you, and then we go from there. And it's up to you to convince us with the assessment, and also for us to show you how who we are as a company. So the idea also of our application journey is that by each stage, you will get to know AB InBev also better. So we don't expect you to be 200% in love with AB InBev before you apply. You can still be doubting, but each step of the way, you will get more information of ABI as a company. You will do networking, you will meet people from AB InBev. And of course, we hope by the time of the final roundtable that you're more or less convinced of us as an employer. But it's really the idea to give you more information each step of the way.
Yeah, and I think I can just add on that, of course, feel free to explore our European career website and culture and principles section, because this, the knowledge of the culture, and of course, feeling that if you are sharing those values with us, I think it's quite important and will definitely help you during the recruitment process.
Absolutely. The 10 principles, they're a bit like the guiding principles for the entire application journey. And it is quite remarkable for, I joined in January. These might seem like things that companies put on websites just like to fill the page, but at AB InBev we are a very culturally strong company, and indeed these principles, they really outline very well who we are as a company and also what culture we have within AB InBev. So it's very important to review. Absolutely.
Thank you. The next question again regarding MBA, so I can also cover this one. So even for MBA application, 2-year experience rule applies, as most MBA program need more than 3 years of experience. Thank you. So this, the MBA program that we have, which is a global MBA program, it's a totally different program. So today, of course, we are focusing on the European graduate programs for those who have less or up to 2 years of professional experience. For the MBAs, for example, if you will be applying for the global MBA program, as a main requirement is you need to be on your first year of MBA course, and also it should be 2-year MBA course overall. And usually, yes, as you said, for the MBA program, usually the working experience is at least 3-4 years. So for us, it's also we have this requirement, so you should ideally have 4 years or more as a professional experience. However, we had some people that has a little bit less of this experience, and it didn't stop the application process. The next question that we have is, is I do like to understand the organization's value and how ABI uses data to drive product segment sustainability across markets.
Oof, that's a tough one. I have to say, this sounds like a question for a specialist. This is, of course, decided in totally a different department. So I work for the people department, so I'm quite aware of our culture, how we select our people. It's a bit of like the HR division, but like how we use data to segment markets. Of course, I have a general idea, but this would be a very good question rather for somebody who works in the sales department, so to say. So like these kinds of questions, you get the opportunity to ask them during the application journey. For instance, on ABI Day, we have networking sessions. If you apply for the MVP program, so the sales program, these are questions that you can ask over there or during the Q&A during the final roundtable. But this is a bit too far from my comfort zone, I would say, to give you a proper response on that. For sure, a lot of stuff can be found online about who we are as a company, what is our value, and also, of course, we're not going to put our full strategy online, but I think that you can find a lot of useful or interesting information on the internet.
Yeah, that was a tough one, definitely.
Yeah.
The last question, at least we have so far in the chats, from Anastasia. Hello, thank you so much for the presentation. Could you please clarify, is there a chance to get on the program in UK if I am from Russia and I do not have a work permit? Is it possible to work remotely from home and get a work visa on the job?
Good question. I think it will be difficult. So indeed, Brexit made it a bit more difficult, but for UK, indeed, we are really focusing on people who have a pre-Brexit EU settlement status, but this mainly means people with an EU nationality who already had a work permit for the UK a bit prior to Brexit, or of course, people who have a full-time work permit for the UK. In your situation, I would advise you to focus on perhaps the GMT program that we have in Russia or Ukraine, because I think for sure also with working remotely to start as a UK GMT, this will not be possible from either a payroll perspective. So it also on a legal level, it would be a challenge. And of course, also now with COVID behind us, we really want to take the opportunity to really have people not only working remotely anymore, but really able to socialize with their colleagues in the office. So for UK, I think it will be quite difficult, and I can only recommend you to start applying for the Russian GMT, for instance. As I already told you, there are huge cross-national evolution opportunities, but this won't be from day one, of course. So absolutely, you can switch around between countries in Europe, but it will be not from day one, of course. No worries.
Yeah, so far I think we covered all of the questions. If you have some more, please let us know. We have around 50 minutes if you'd like to know more. I don't remember if Jost covered, but you can apply only for one program, one location. So before applying, also make up your mind which program you think is the best for you in terms of the program outlines, location-wise, language-wise, where you have disadvantages as work authorization, for example. If you're a German speaker, probably it's best to apply for German-based graduate program. So that's why we always say transparently that we can only apply only for one program. So that's why please yes, have a look and make up your mind which program you think the best would be for you in terms of the career development in the company.
Indeed, very good points, and very good to mention. So indeed, the 4 programs, they are very distinctive, I would say. GMT is general management, MVP is really sales on the field, so less of a perhaps a desk, not that GMT is a desk job, but it's really going to our clients, negotiating, price negotiation, meeting people in the field. SMT is really all about brewing and engineering, and really between all of the places where we produce our beers. And then FTL, that's specifically in Prague. So if you're open to relocate and live and work in Prague, and you have the correct language skills, then the FTL is a very, very nice opportunity as well. So indeed, a good idea to really think about it. What would be your preference, and then go for the application where you would have the biggest shot. I think one thing that I also wanted to share, Madina, is the planning that we still have for the rest of this week. So I will check if I can bring it up, because we have a lot of sessions that are still incoming. So for the rest of the Hired Career Fair, if I can get this, here it is. So this is the rest of the agenda for this week. So this is the graduate programs overview. Tomorrow we have a more general session getting to know AB InBev, and then we have separate sessions really diving deep into each of the programs, where also current trainees will be talking about their experience. So if you really want information, what are my first days like? How does it go as an MVP? Which region do I get, etc.? Like really in program questions. I would definitely recommend you to join either the MVP on Tuesday, the GMT on Wednesday, then we have SMT on Thursday, and then we have FTL on Friday. So really, we give you every opportunity to ask the questions that you still might have, and to really be very, very well aware of what these programs are about. And then the GMBA that was already brought up by Madina, we have on Wednesday. So this is for people with an MBA degree, but mainly people who are still studying in a 2 years MBA degree. And then we have a very interesting session on DNI as well. But these are all of the I would say graduate program sessions that we have.
Yes, looking forward to seeing all of you during the sessions. So I think it's a great also chance to speak with our people and ask your questions. Actually, we have some questions incoming from Luca. This morning I saw a job offer for summer internship. I graduate in June 2022. Is this internship for graduates, or is it for people who are still doing their education?
Generally, I would say that the internships are for people who are still studying. Most of our internships, but it depends on a country per country basis, is also unpaid. So generally, this is for people who, because often there are also not full-time positions. This is mainly for people who will be still be studying. But of course, if you're super interested and you feel comfortable with this, you can apply. Of course, if you really like the job content of the internship. So if you graduate in the summer, of course, you can also apply for the graduate programs, right? So you can perhaps do an internship and then apply for the internship, and then also apply for the graduate programs that you already gained some in ABI experience before you start at ABI. So you can combine internship and graduate program experience. Hope that answers your question. And I saw one on the FTL program as well, I believe, with regards to the languages. I will see, and it was a good one. One more question for the Fast Track Leadership Program. It's located in Prague. It's also, is it necessary to speak Czech if I apply, for example, for the program with German? I didn't say it in detail, but indeed, in terms of languages, you don't need to speak Czech. So we have for FTL, because we have a lot of customer-facing departments there, for instance, customer support, etc. This is really a very multilingual hub that we have in Prague. So we have FTL, where we look for FTL people English plus German. We have FTL English plus Dutch. We have FTL English plus French. And those are then, if you apply for that specific role, the only languages that we require. So there's really a place for French-speaking people, German-speaking people, Dutch-speaking people, Spanish-speaking people. So all of the roles that you see listed on the website, we only look for those specific languages, but always combined with English, of course. Czech is not necessary in any of the FTL positions that we have open.
And I
Diana.
had one question coming from direct. So is it that you can only apply to the graduate program in the UK if you have settlement rights, or can an international student like myself apply to work in the UK following my master's in London?
Good question. Unfortunately, indeed, we focus on people who have pre-settlement or settlement status, meaning a full-time without any time limits work permit. So I do know that there's the graduate route that you can follow, but I think basically this means that after 2 or 3 years, you would need to apply for a full-time working visa, so after the student period. Indeed, we focus on people who already right now have a full-time work permit in order to be able to apply for the graduate programs. So unfortunately, I think in your specific case, that you would not be considered specifically for the UK program, unfortunately.
Yes, that's true. But of course, feel free to check the programs where you have the work authorization.
Absolutely. Yeah, and indeed, also for the graduate programs aren't the only way to get into ABI. So let's say, for business as usual or jobs where we look for experience already, or just regular positions at AB InBev on a case-per-case basis, it can be possible indeed that we will provide work permit support for hard to fill roles. Absolutely.
Okay, I think we don't have any more questions. Yeah, I think that's it. So we can probably wrap up.
Absolutely. Will programs be available in Spain? I see one. Spain, yes, but specifically on the Canary Islands. So mainland Spain, we don't have offices there, let's say, or also no programs that are organized there. So any job opportunities in the for Spanish-speaking people, it would be based on the Canary Islands, indeed. So sorry to disappoint you with that, but indeed that's the situation as is with regards to Spain. Also from my side, thank you very much for joining, for your attention. I hope I was able to get you a bit warm for the job opportunities for the graduate programs that we have at ABI. So I do hope that you enjoy the rest of the career fair with Hired. Perhaps our paths will cross again. If you apply, I will be there in multiple stages through the application journey. So again, best of luck for all of you who will apply at ABI, but also for people who will be applying somewhere else. Thank you for your time, and perhaps we will see each other in the future.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.